Recording has started. Whenever you're ready.
Sorry about that. Just making sure it was all working. Welcome everyone. Welcome to our final presentation. We are the Equine Unit, and I would like to thank you for joining us. For any of you that have joined late, there is information available in the comments. My name is Haley Reese. I am from Castor, Alberta, and I am the general manager on the team. Our unit is made up of 7 members from 3 provinces. Our short-term goals were to sell 7 well-trained and sound geldings in the roundup sale. We did meet our training goals with all of the horses. Unfortunately, 2 geldings did not sell in the sale. We are going into more detail on this later in the presentation. Through our nutrition regimen, we met our goal to have the horse's body condition score between 6 to 6.5 at the sale. We used our software program Equicity efficiently this semester to manage our chores. Our long-term goals for the Equine SMF unit include purchasing geldings with correct conformation and performance horse bloodlines, continuing off of our successful first year, continue to create a recognizable brand for Lakeland College horses. Last is to continue a successful equine unit, including the new Broodmare stream. Our SWOT analysis. For our SWOT analysis, our strengths this year are our team's great work ethic, the time and effort put into the marketing and sales of our geldings, and the quality and consistent hours spent on the horses. Our weaknesses are the soundness trouble with 2 horses in our herd. Being the first year of an equine SMF unit, we had less guidance and no previous team's recommendations. Last, we are a very small team, giving everyone an extra workload. Opportunities our team had this year include the ability to make industry connections through buying and selling horses. We had the opportunity to continue to create a reputable brand for Lakeland College horses, and we were able to expand with a new addition of a breeding enterprise. Threats to our unit continue to be COVID-19, the possibility of interference from animal rights activism, and competition from others in the equine industry.
On March 27th, we sold 5 of the SMF geldings at the annual roundup sale that the equine team shares with the beef units. 2 of the geldings were not paid for as of March 31st, so they are listed as inventory. These 2 geldings sold for an average of $11,250 each. We had to pull 2 geldings from the sale due to chronic lameness conditions, and they are currently valued at $500. Our team has already purchased most of the geldings for next year's equine team to train for the 2022 roundup sale. We currently have 5 geldings purchased from various sellers at an average of $2,140 each, coming to a total cost of $10,700. We currently have 7 mares and 2 more are spoken for that will be getting bred this summer to various studs. They have all been handled differently, and this year's team has started to halter train them, but due to COVID regulations, most of the gentling will rely on next year's team. We currently have 16 horses, coming to a total value of $41,100. The equines team's SOPs are still in a living document format and have had additions with our new purchase of broodmares on how to handle them the most humane way possible. Breeding contracts had to be created for each stud and the mares that are going to him. Breeding contracts are a written agreement on the price for mare care, stud fee, duration the mares will be with the stud, and whether or not there is any sort of live foal guarantee. By sale day, the Geldings were comfortable in many situations. They had each helped at a branding, could confidently track a cow and hold for doctoring. They were comfortable being ridden outside, and we did it as often as the weather and footing permitted over the time that we were training them.
Hello, my name is Sarah Sitko. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, and I'm the nutrition coordinator. In semester 2, we purchased geldings for next year's team, and 6 of our 9 broodmares arrived as well. This is each group of horses' total feed cost for the year, followed by a herd total. For our 2020 geldings, the cost came to $4,144.24. For our new geldings, it has been $85 so far, and for our broodmares, it has been $516.60 so far, which brings the total feed cost to $4,745.84. For our 2020 geldings nutrition, our 2 main nutritional goals were to have them attain a 6 to 6.5 body condition score and to have shiny, healthy-looking coats by our sale day. We had approximately 207 days from the beginning of our year with them to get them prepped and looking their best on sale day. In semester 1, we were feeding free choice hay with a mineral supplement in the form of a lick tub. When semester 2 started, we had made a plan to add supplements, including oats to gain condition and add energy required for their workload, and a milled flaxseed for fat cover and coat shine. We also switched from a mineral lick tub to a loose mineral for convenience and to control the intake. We had originally planned to feed 0.9 kilograms of oats and 0.114 kilograms of milled flax per head per day, but after 2 weeks, we were not seeing any improvements, and since we were feeding a very minimal amount, we decided to increase the ration to 1.18 kilograms of oats, and we doubled the flax amount to 0.228 kilograms. This was a successful adjustment to make, as all of our geldings looked incredible prior to sale day, and we had successfully achieved our goals of shiny, healthy coats and a 6 to 6.5 body condition score on each horse. 5 of the next year's SMF geldings arrived on March 30th. They are currently being fed free choice hay and are supplemented with a cobalt salt block until they are later turned out onto pasture for the summer months. 6 of our 9 total broodmares arrived at the college on February 19th. These mares are currently open and waiting to be bred this spring. They are also being fed a free choice hay and are supplemented with a cobalt salt block until they are sent to their summer pastures for breeding. To bring all of this together, this is a complete breakdown of all feeds that went into our horses combined this year. These numbers make up our total feed cost of $4,745.84.
Hello and good afternoon. My name is Juliana Dunbar. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, and I've been the range and forage coordinator this year for the equine team. Currently, we have 6 broodmares located in the pen highlighted in blue on the diagram, and 5 2022 sale geldings in the turnout pen highlighted in yellow. As our nutrition coordinator has already stated, both are eating free choice hay. Over the year, it was perceived that the 2022 geldings would have to be kept in dry lot due to a lack of pasture. However, with immense generosity from faculty member Ron Hoffman, pasture has been offered for all 9 of these geldings. The 2022 sale geldings will remain in dry lot until May 20th, where then they'll be moved over to Ron's pasture to graze, and then will return again back to the college on August 30th. In regards to our broodmares, all will be sent to their respective stud locations and will remain at these locations for the duration of the 2021 grazing period. I've created a chart outlining in detail the mare, stud, breeder, location, cost per head per day, and number of days grazing, and this may be found in your booklet. Expected grazing expenses have been calculated from the individual prices quoted by breeders and by facility owners. As I've already said, the 9 sale geldings will graze close to home in Vermilion, Alberta at a rate of $2 per head per day for 103 days and at a cost of $1,854. For our maiden mares, 2 will be going to the same location as the geldings.
She makes me so mad.
With mare care rates at $3 per head per day for 117 days and a total cost of 702 days. $2. For the second pair that are going to Czar, they will be kept at a rate of $2 per head per day for 117 days and at a cost of $468. And the third pair will be sent to Wild Horse, Alberta at a cost of $3 per head per day for 117 days, as well at a cost of $702. Finally, our maiden mare located in Swift Current, Saskatchewan is being kept at a cost without any cost as far as our knowledge extends. And the 2 mares that are expected to foal this spring are being kept at their original breeding program locations and will be bred again by the same studs for the 2022 foaling season. Fintrue Roan Unita is being kept in Westlock, Alberta at a rate of $1 per head per day, grazing for 124 days and accumulating a cost of $124. And Miss Reminick Jewel, located in Rock Glen, Saskatchewan, is cared for at a rate of $3 per head per day for 147 days and at a cost of $441. Altogether, we can expect our grazing expenses for the 2021 season to reach a total of $4,291. When deciding what mares we wanted to use with which studs, we took many factors into account, such as conformation, size, eye appeal, foot quality, and genetic diversity of the foal crop. We wanted to ensure that we paired the mares with studs that are a manageable size for the mare and can help make the next generation of foals better. As there are also 2 sets of full sisters, we made the decision to split some of them up in order to have more genetic diversity within next year's foal crop.
Hi, my name is Jessica Plank. I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, and I'm this year's Stable Management, Health, and Mixed Farm Coordinator. This semester in health, we had noticed the colts starting to rub their tails out, so they were given Equilan dewormer to get rid of any bots and worms that they may have. They also started to develop a spring cold in March. They had runny noses and were coughing quite often, so they were given 35 cc's of Respifree until it was cleared up. March 26th, the colts were hauled to Delaney Vet to get a pre-purchase exam completed, and unfortunately, 2 of our colts had not passed and were pulled from the sale. Both colts, Hank and Gambler, were diagnosed with chronic lameness. At the end of February, we had noticed that Hank had come up lame and thought that it could have been a stone bruise. We had him on stall rest, he was given bute, and was cold hosed to keep him as comfortable as possible. After a time of him not recovering, we decided to haul him to the vet where a nerve block was done. This helps the vet locate and confirm where the pain is associated with lameness. Hoof testers were also used, which is a tool that is used to apply pressure to different areas of the hoof to determine which spot is sore. At the end of the vet check, Hank was diagnosed with navicular disease, which is inflammation of the navicular bone and surrounding tissues. It is a specialized surface that has a slippery coating allowing joints to flex, and if the surface gets damaged, it is no longer rubbery and will start to calcify. There are alternatives to make it more comfortable, such as wedge shoes, which will help raise the heel, reducing tension on the flexor tendon and navicular bone. Hank will be joining the AHT program where he will be used for labs. Gambler was diagnosed with juvenile arthritis, which is common in horses 1 to 4 years old. It is inflammation and degeneration of the joint, including cartilage, capsule, bone, and the ligaments. He had also developed sarcoids on his throat, which are skin tumors. They do not get cured on their own and usually grow back. We are still working with the vets to determine the best decision for Gambler. Second semester, we decided to put a full set of shoes on the colts as a precautionary because of the fact that they were being ridden outside more often and didn't want to take any risks of possible lameness. It was $120 per set. We also decided to hire a farrier for second semester for one trim so that we were able to get them all done at once, and that was $50 per trim. For the 6 vet checks, it was $117 each, and for Hank's vet check, including the nerve block and tester, it was $476. The respite free was $47, and for 7 Equine dewormers, it was $23 each. This semester, we had the first years doing chores in the barn as part of one of their courses. They were responsible for mucking stalls in the morning, giving hay, fresh water, and their grain. They were also to turn the colts in by 7 p.m. and have the barn tidied. The students were split into 3 chore groups, each with a leader, and were each assigned a horse for the week. We stayed organized by using the app Equicity, where we were able to see if the chores were completed and which ones weren't. Not only did it give the students some responsibility during the school year, but it also helps us when it comes to choosing positions for next year's team. And this semester in Mixed Farm, we are working on completing the chapters of an environmental farm plan.
Hi, my name is Jessie Saunders. I'm from New Brunswick and I'm the finance coordinator. This year, our only source of income was the sale. As mentioned earlier, we sold our 5 geldings for a total price of $58,000. However, as of our year end, March 31st, we had only received payment for 3 of the horses. Because of this, our total income for the year was $35,500. We have since received payment for the other 2 geldings. As you can see on this chart, represented in light blue, over half of our expenses this year were horse purchases, costing us $31,850. Our second largest expense was labor, represented in gray, followed by medical and farrier costs, shown in dark blue. Our total expenses for the year were $58,874. Here on this slide, I have a graph that compares our budgeted expenses to our actual. There are 4 categories that we ended up going over budget on. The first is horse purchases. This is due to the fact that we have already bought several mares and geldings for next year's team, something that we had not originally planned on doing. The second is vet/medical, which is due to the vet costs associated with these new horses. The third is farrier. Initially, we planned on doing all farrier work ourselves. However, as Jessica explained earlier, that did not end up being the case. This created expenses that were not budgeted for. The final category is labor. There was a misunderstanding regarding this section when I made the budget, so I did not account for the labor that we as students put in. Our actual labor charge has been calculated to include the time students spend cleaning stalls and feeding. So when looked at from a cash flow basis, our unit had a total income of $35,500 and total expenses of $58,874, giving us a loss of $23,374. Since the majority of our expenses were horse purchases, and some of our sale geldings are not represented in our income, we wanted to do an accrual adjustment to account for this. When our year-end inventory value of $41,100 is considered, we have an adjusted profit of $17,726. As a unit, we decided to break our expenses down and look at the sale geldings as their own enterprise. We did this to examine profitability separate from the next year horses that were purchased. The graph on this slide compares our budget to our actual gelding expenses. As you can see, most categories came in very close to budget. The 2 exceptions are farrier and labor, which were explained on my previous comparison slide. So when looking at a profit loss for a gelding enterprise, we had a sale income of $58,000 and expenses of $39,079, giving us a profit of $18,921. For next year, there will be separate budgets for the Broodmare enterprise and sale gelding enterprise. This will allow students to examine the profitability of the unit and its distinct enterprises with more accuracy. A detailed breakdown of this year's budget, the gelding enterprise, and next year's budgets can be found on pages 30 to 32 in the booklet.
Hello, my name is Jace Thorstensen. I am this year's Marketing and Public Relations Coordinator for the equine team. Currently, our Facebook page has 854 followers, and the post that reached the most people and received the most amount of shares is a screenshot of the catalog. An example of this is in the bottom right-hand corner of the slide. It reached 12,600 people and received 58 shares. This is a list of alternative marketing methods that we did to promote the Roundup sale. We did a Kijiji post. We did a post with the Lakeland Connect. We got catalogs made. We also printed posters. Didn't add in the wildfire classifieds, as well as a radio and a newspaper ad. And on the right-hand side of the slide is an example of the cover of our catalog.
Our first year being a part of the Roundup sale was a success. The sale committee worked hard and created a proposal to have people on campus to view animals. Luckily, we were approved by the COVID committee and were able to show horses following COVID-19 protocols. We had around 50 appointments booked for people to come view and try horses. This was crucial for our success. We averaged $11,600 on 5 geldings. 2 horses were scratched from the sale.
This is a list of some other costs that we had associated with our sale. Getting our catalogs printed and mailed out cost us $1,282.37. And DLMS, the platform that we sold our horses on, cost us $630. Alternative advertising methods that we did cost us $301.90, and our auctioneer donated his services. Therefore, we did not have an auctioneer fee, bringing our total to $2,214.27.
We did a partial budget to figure out the break even on the sale gelding enterprise. Our total expenses were $39,079. The original break-even price we needed to get if we would have sold 7 geldings was $5,583. Our actual price seated with 5 geldings sold was $7,816. We exceeded our break-even price.
And we as a unit were just kind of curious what marketing methods did the best. And so we did a poll with our buyers to find out how they heard about the sale. 3 of our buyers heard it through word of mouth. 1 buyer saw our Facebook page, and 1 buyer saw the sale on the DLMS website.
As a unit, we compiled a list of recommendations for next year's team. A few that we decided to share are to have the sale geldings vet checked before purchasing, to start looking for summer grazing pasture in the first semester to ensure that it is found in time, to get professional photos taken of the sale horses early in the second semester, as we found the photos generated a lot of interest in our horses, to brand the sale geldings in the first few weeks of school to allow the hair to regrow in time for the sale. There are additional recommendations available in the booklet. We would like to thank New Holland Agriculture, Matt Rustemeyer, our SMF advisor, Ron Hoffman, Anthony Robertson, the farm team, Bailey Halous, the equine tech, Steve Doran, the auctioneer, Jill Renton, and Melissa Downing from DLMS, our breeders, and we'd like to give a big thank you to our buyers, Michaela Sattler, David Ferguson, Gord Ziegler, Lance Shelsky, and Rebecca Becker. The floor is now open for questions. Jeff?
Hey, Haley, just a question. You guys mentioned that you're using that software, the management Equicity. There was fee associated with that. Have you guys kind of looked at whether you think that was worthwhile, and are you recommending that the team carry on with that next year?
Yeah, for sure. So the question was regarding Equicity. I would like to invite Jessica Plank, our stable management coordinator, to answer the question.
Yeah, so I think for the program, it was, since we don't see the first years all the time, it was super easy to see if the chores were completed on the app. And then we were able to put comments in there as well for the first year so they can see it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, just wondering if you guys think it's worthwhile. Like, is there any analytical stuff there that helped you out with the business management?
Yeah, so we're able to input medication as well, so that they can see, so they would know what's going on with the colts. I think it would be good to go forward with it, just because we're able to put in so much information about the colts that they can see, since we're not always seeing the first years.
Perfect, thank you.
Susan, do you have a question?
Hi, Haley. Great job on the presentation. I'm just wondering, because it's the first year of this equine SMF team, are there any other ways you can generate income besides the sale of the geldings? So what are the plans moving forward?
Yeah, so we've expanded into a broodmare enterprise. So the plan is to hopefully be able to sell these colts. So how next year's team plans on selling the colts, whether it's in a sale or privately, is up to them. But so that will be another source of income for us, is the foals off of the broodmares. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Josie? Maybe we'll pass on to Kara. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering why you only put geldings in the sale as opposed to like performance mares as well.
I guess I can take this question as well. We just decided that with the rodeo industry and everything else, that geldings typically do sell for a premium. We're not against selling mares in future years. It was just a decision that our team made this year. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, Haley, it's Josie. I'm just having some connection problems here, but I don't have a question, actually. I just want to congratulate you guys. As you said, this is the first year for the SMF Equine Unit, and I think you did a fabulous job. So congratulations to you guys, and great presentation.
Thank you. Susan, do you have another question, or is your hand just still up?
No, I don't. I think my hand is just staying up. You better put it down, so I'm tired.
Do we have time for one more question, Janet?
If you have, yes, I see Andrea has her hand up. So yeah, take her question.
Okay, Andrea.
Hi, great presentation, and thank you very much for the information. I did notice that you do send your animals out through the summer months, but do you have any thought for a grazing plan to help to, I know you drive around the country and there's a lot of overgrazed pastures with our horses. Is there any thought of trying to kind of plan a grazing system for your horses?
Yeah, I'll invite Juliana Dunbar to answer this question, as she is the range and forage coordinator.
Hi. So this year we had planned on grazing on a home pasture that was going to be able to accommodate for the amount of geldings that we have. But unfortunately, it was a decision that was beyond us. It was seeded for crop instead this year. And then we've decided because of, instead of picking breeders that could breed from AI to anything, we picked solely pasture breeding. That way we could rely on that mare care to be able to house our mares. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
All right, that looks like that's all the questions we have. If you have any additional questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we will get back to you as soon as possible.